it's another Mahjong game. I'm not sure what it was in 1991 that made everyone decide to release Mahjong games at the same time. If there was some sudden Mahjong fad that everyone was cashing in on, or maybe arcade Mahjong games had suddenly become a big hit. It's not like Mahjong games were ever unpopular, it just feels strange when we have 5 of them released in the first half of the year. Of course, in this kind of crowd, a game has to do a few things to distinguish itself. And Mahjong Club Nagata-cho has 3 special features that make it stand out. First, it's a 4-player Mahjong game. Mahjong, of course, is a set-building game played with tiles instead of cards, and Reichi Mahjong is the version normally played in Japan, which requires that players build particular hands before they go out. When you're playing around a table, you're typically playing with 4 people. But there are plenty of variant rules that will let you play with fewer. And when it comes to video games, particularly at this time, presentation for 4-player Mahjong is a bit cramped. It's hard to make everything you need visible on an 8-bit system. And so the typical compromise has been to make it a 2-player version of Mahjong. But Mahjong Club Nagata-cho presents the player with a full game. Of course, to do this, they made one of the busiest looking interfaces I think I've ever seen, though it's all there, and it's not that difficult to figure out. If you ever need to pick up a tile that somebody's discarded, you hit the B button to bring up a menu, and it has a list of all of the possible plays. The second thing that this game brings is a lot of speech. Most Mahjong games just have a voice call out when it's taking a tile. In Mahjong Club Nagata-cho, characters have fully voiced lines that occur after matches. Okay, not very audible lines, but they're still fully voiced lines. The third thing that makes this game stand out, and the thing that was the big selling point, are who you're playing against. All of the characters in Mahjong Club Nagata-cho are major politicians, primarily from the LDP, or Liberal Democratic Party. They're the largest political party in post-war Japan, and the game has you take on 2 different prime ministers. Shinzo Abe is a little too young to be featured in this game, but you can play Mahjong against his father. There's 2 different game modes, one which has you as the representative of the LDP taking on other political parties, and one where you're trying to climb the ranks of the LDP in order to become Prime Minister. Judging this as a Mahjong game, I feel like it might be too easy. I mean, I was trouncing these guys, and I'm terrible at Mahjong. It makes me wonder about the quality of the AI here. Because of how strange the subject matter is, Mahjong Club Nagata-cho is one of the very few Famicom Mahjong games that's actually remembered. Okay, it's a piece of trivia, but that's more than most of these Mahjong games get. My own view on the game is that it's fine, but it's really only worth looking at if you are really into Japanese political figures of the early 90s. I appreciate that they gave the game a bit of personality, but it's a personality that I've got absolutely zero connection to. Annoyingly, Mahjong Club Nagata-cho is a little bit of a rare game. It's not an expensive one, because Mahjong games never are popular enough to drive that, but since it's a hecked game, and one that at least has a little bit of notoriety, copies can be a bit hard to come by. Which really just adds up to play a different Mahjong game.